This is Park Talk. So today we're going to talk about a few things you should consider before buying. Most importantly, I think when I consult with my buyers is personal timing. Where are you at in your life? I think with the interest rates at where they're at, something to consider is what does renting look like and what are your motivations for buying. If you just want your own space and you want to move out of your parents' house, maybe renting might be something to consider if the mortgage is too much or if there's a disconnect between what you want versus what you can afford. I think there's nothing wrong with saving a little bit more and then getting back into the market. Something else to consider is knowing exactly how much you can afford. Keep in mind, speaking to a lender and getting pre-approved is completely free. You don't pay any, you don't have to pay them for their time, you don't have to pay for their pre-approval. It's a free consultation. If it's something you're interested in, it really helps you understand what does the finances look like in the moment that you are ready to buy. Keep in mind that your interest rate doesn't lock until you get into contract. So that means the seller has to accept your offer. So you could have a rate one day and the rate could go up or go down the next day. So it really depends on your timing. Something else to be mindful of is once you're in the market and competing, it's really good to consider what does the playing field look like for you? Is the home that you are offering on a very popular home? Are there a lot of buyers looking at it? Will it be competitive? Or are you going to find yourself in a one-to-one type of negotiation? If it's a one-to-one, you have a lot more flexibility. You can ask the seller for more things, and you can even ask for some seller concessions. If you're in a competitive environment, those seller concessions go away, generally speaking, because you can assume that other buyers will not ask for these things. If it's a super popular home and it's A+, you can expect some sort of competition. And this is across all price points. If the home is not A+ and it needs some work, you can see some buyers being a little shy of that price or that home because of after sale renovations and things like that. They may not have the finances to do it, considering where the interest rate's at and what they're putting in terms of their down payment. Something else to consider is you don't necessarily need to put down 20%. Depending on where your interest rate's at and what you can afford, 5, 10, 15% is totally doable. For my sellers, there are two main variables you should consider before selling your home. One would be the inventory, and two, how long you've had your home for. The longer you've had your home, the greater net profit you'll be able to have. Usually that's around the 5-year mark. After 5 years, there's a high likelihood you could be profitable, but below 5 years, I would consider, why are you selling? We can get into that in a later video. But second would be the inventory. Between San Francisco, Santa Clara, and San Mateo County, inventory is down about 30%. When you're looking at down inventory, that means there are less homes on home for sale in the market. With less homes for sale, that means buyers are more willing and more likely to compete over your home, despite where the current interest rate is at. And lastly, why are you selling? I think the biggest consideration is, do you need to sell? Is selling not an option? And what are your motivations? So if you have any questions, please let me know. Happy to chat and see how I can help.